afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Lunch with June. Without any further ado, let me now introduce my very good friend, the queen of Instagram in Singapore, Miss Jamie Chua.
Thanks for inviting me. Wow, everything looks so good.
You are no stranger because you have been here before.
Many times,
but
and I
guess you have not tried the bento. You have not tried the mocha, I guess.
Yes, I haven't tried the mocha.
The high tea set, I think you have not tried either.
Oh, that's my favorite.
That's the mangosteen with almond cream. Okay, and
in fact, everything is my favorite.
Fritters. Let me introduce how you drink this mocha.
Okay.
Yeah. Pour the coffee into the ice cream, the chocolate ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah. That's mocha masa style.
That's nice for a hot afternoon.
Every time when I go to the restaurant, I will tend to order because it is very refreshing.
I know what that is. It's my favorite drink too.
Pandan tea.
Pandan tea.
It's homemade, no tea bags, preservatives, all fresh ingredients.
Cheers. What shall we start with? Maybe the salad?
Yeah, that is fresh kailan with pomegranate, so it's something refreshing.
Yes.
I would try the siu mai.
The siu mai, yeah.
Nice. While you enjoy the food, what shall we talk about today?
Good question.
Okay.
We should talk about something interesting that not many people know about. I mean, something that is
I know.
needed in our daily lives.
I remembered some time ago, you had a video on YouTube that said, the 5 bags that you regretted buying most. Was that?
Yes, 5 loves and 5 regrets.
Okay. I would want to talk about what are the 5 things that you hated most on the dining table. So maybe that gels and it gives us a little insight of how, as ladies, when we dine, how we should avoid certain things that we should not be seen etiquette. In the
something about social etiquette.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe the first one would be, some people like to stick their chopsticks into their rice bowl.
Something like that after they eat.
Yeah, like not after they eat, but like in the midst of
yeah, like when I pick some food,
and then after that
I just stick there conveniently.
Yeah, I think that is a real no-no because first of all, it just looks very bad. Secondly, it could be messy when the chopstick falls and then all the rice will splatter all over. And of course, to us Chinese, it is inauspicious because it looks like joysticks for the dead.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I think the other side about it is when the chopsticks, the tendency of it falling on the floor is always there. We will always say, how to bring you out the next time. This is something I think we should avoid.
Yeah, I think children have a more tendency to do that. I see that being done a lot by kids, and I think that parents should actually educate their kids about this from young.
Yep.
Yes, because old habits die hard, right?
The second one.
The second one would probably be about toothpicks. Toothpicks are something that we Asians use pretty often, especially after like a Chinese meal. And I mean, it is better to use a toothpick than to have spinach stuck in your teeth and there you're talking and then you have greens in between your teeth. Please do it with grace, like cover
it, right? Yeah.
And you do it quietly, silently. You do not talk. You do not like put the toothpick and
Dig
start
and dig.
talking. Like, hey, you know that new handbag that I
No.
saw?
Or-
What do you think of it?
Or sometimes it is you're stuck in this difficult chore. You cannot get that particle out, you know, and you keep digging at it. I think
yeah.
that one I think we should avoid.
Or even people who actually, okay, I think guys are more guilty of that, and they just stick their toothpick in, and then it's sticking out, and they're just like going.
No, some ladies they will bite their toothpick and continue to do, you know, while the toothpick is in their mouth.
They do?
Yeah. I have seen
Shocking.
friends like that. So yes, toothpicking is we should avoid, you know, in public.
Yeah.
That one.
What is the third one, huh?
Yes.
Let me think. Oh,
You've
yes.
been dining out so often,
Oh my
yes.
God. This one really irks the hell out of me. When you have your tea and your coffee, you
Right.
put some sugar in, of course, you will stir it with a teaspoon. I mean, this is ice mocha, but usually it's more
Coffee or
apparent
tea,
with
yeah.
coffee
Hot drinks.
or tea. And I think a lot of people of the older generation tend to do it, and they would stir,
And
then they
they'll
leave
just leave
the spoon in the cup, or they would drink it like,
Just
I
like-
mean, like how do I drink it? It's going to hit my lip and mess up my lipstick. And well, there's absolutely no way. I mean, I could push, and it's just a very ugly action.
Yes,
And when I see
I do agree.
like
Yeah.
someone having that spoon in their tea or coffee cup, I always do this. I will take it out for them.
And because you cannot
just-
cannot stand it, you know.
It's just
yeah.
something. It's just something about it that, you know, because
Yeah.
from young I've been taught. And yeah, I think it's
Valid
one of those
points.
social
Yes.
no-nos, and yep,
Yeah.
we should get
So-
educated on that.
Yeah, everyone out there, I think these are very good tips, you know, from someone who has been dining not only everywhere locally but internationally, globally, you know. Yeah. So
Can you imagine being in a Michelin star restaurant and then you were drinking your coffee or your tea like that?
and you have a
Or
toothpick there.
like, worse, I tell you something. What if, you know the kopitiam uncle, right?
Yes.
They will pour their coffee onto that saucer
And
and,
drink from
then
the
they will
saucer.
drink from
Yes,
the
yes,
saucer.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
God, what
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
I fail to understand the rationale behind it. Do you know why they
I
would do
think,
that?
Yes. In the older days, I think when all these are normally coolies or hard labor workers, they are taking their break for coffee, you know. They don't have the time to wait for it to cool down.
Oh, yes.
They just pour on the dish and
cool it.
correct, so that they can quickly drink it, you know. I don't see it nowadays. They do not drink from the saucer
I
anymore.
don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
my grandpa used to do that, and he's
Yeah.
not a coolie. You know.
Yeah.
I think no, it's just
But I
like
think
an old
it was
habit.
yeah, it was the culture then, you know.
Could be.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So it was the culture.
And the
Okay.
fourth.
And the fourth is yes, when you eat spaghetti, you gotta eat it the right way. Some people, I mean, you don't like.
Or they splurge.
Yeah, or you know, there is the correct way of eating spaghetti. Take a fork and roll it, see, against a spoon neatly, so that it won't ruin your lipstick
And not
or
too
even,
big a
like,
bite.
cause
Yes.
your mouth to be oily, which is like super no-no for the ladies. Make sure that it's neat and open your mouth just wide enough to fit the spoon in. So just to make sure that it's not too much.
I think the fifth one, I don't know whether we have this same frequency or we are thinking along the same line. It is something that I become very impatient looking at things like that, you know. And I don't think you should do it too excessively on the dining table, especially when you're with friends, you know. Guess what?
I think I may know what she's talking about. Using your phone.
Yes, because
Either to take pictures or to Just be very antisocial.
Yeah, a mobile gadget, your handphone
Stuck to
is
our hands.
yeah, it's like a normal item now. You can't leave home without it. It is no longer American Express, but it's a mobile phone.
I'll
But-
take the American Express. It has become such a social habit. Like, in the old days, we don't even have mobile phones. We get by with it. I mean, we went through meals for years and years and years without our mobile phone, and we lived through that.
We should
Refrain.
or try to influence or educate people
Yeah,
around us
minimize.
not to do it. Yeah.
Actually, there are a few more like no-nos which I don't really.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't stop at 5.
Yeah, sure.
When you finish a meal, right? Like
Right.
to let the service staff know that you are done with the dish, so that they will automatically come and collect it. Let's say, of course, I'm not done with my pasta yet, but just an example. They will just leave it like this, like for the longest time, and the service staff will never know that are you done or are you not done with it. To show that you
You're
have
done.
already, you're done with the dish. You either put them together at the side, or even put them together in the center. I mean, I can't do it now because there's seafood.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is like an indication to the service staff
Yes,
that
yes.
I'm finished with the
That's-
dish.
Quite an international method of communicating with the service
But
staff,
you'll
you know,
be
to clear your dish.
surprised that a lot of people, they just don't know better. Yeah.
It's just like, you know, when you have Chinese teapot, you know, if you want a refill of water or the tea, you just
yes, keep
half
it a
cover
little
it,
bit.
yeah.
Yes. So these are just a little
Yes,
social
it's good
manners.
tips, good
yeah.
tips.
Good tips.
Yes. I have recently found that you have gotten a new hobby.
Oh my, yes.
I've been seeing you
I always
in,
have new hobbies.
I've been seeing you in nurseries, you know, you've been having a lot of plants at your house.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Are you becoming a horticulturist?
I wish. Actually, I'm just a farm girl at heart. During your busy times, your busy years, you don't really have time to dedicate to being a farm girl. And I think 2020 is a good time for all of us to slow down, do what we have always wanted to do, like stop and smell the roses, literally for me, to slow down our lifestyle, indulge in a hobby that gives you peace, keeps you calm. So I think gardening is the perfect thing for me to do at the moment. And because I love flowers, I love vegetables, I love all sorts of vegetables. So I'm growing
You
some
love the
vegetables,
breeds. Yes.
and fruits, and of course flowers. Yeah, flower. I'm like flower vibe all the
So,
time.
When did you pick up this hobby? I've been your friend for so long. I have never seen you gardening before. What inspired you, you know, to hop onto gardening?
From a very young age, I've always loved nature because my parents used to take me on nature walks. We go to the reservoir, we appreciate nature. Of course, you know, it is one of those weekend hobbies for us, and playing in the garden. And I remember just spending my weekends chasing butterflies with a net.
Do you know that it reminds me of my grandmother? You know, because I think in the olden days, when there are not so many condominiums and flats, you know, I always visit my grandmother in this, you know, in Cantonese we call sampa.
Yeah,
You know,
yes, exactly.
It's called shanpa
Yeah, it's like a
in
kampong.
Zhongwen. Yeah, it's like
Something like-
kampong, you know. The living is very to the nature.
So I think that, you know, as I grow older, I try to do things that brings me back to nature, because I think nature heals us a lot, and it just really gives us peace of mind, serenity, tranquility, everything that is great for our self-care. And self-care is so important nowadays.
Yes, yes.
We really need to take care of ourselves.
Now I realize you're doing that a lot, you know.
I
like-
am totally
like
self-care
gardening,
24 hours.
like your entire concoction of teas, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm so into it, holistic.
Yes, you know,
Holistic.
so I can see that you're doing a lot
Even
of
DIY
Zen healing.
creams, DIY
Yes.
creams.
Oh, really?
I do Did you not look at my DIY highlights? Okay, so I make my own body scrub. I gave you one. You almost ate it. You
Which
thought
one?
it was the body scrub. I sent it to you.
Yes, I
Oh
almost
my
ate
gosh,
it.
I almost
Yes.
ate it.
Oh, you mean you concoct that yourself? I made it. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I thought you
it
just
was rose petal.
bought it off the shelf and therefore it's stuck in a corner of my house.
Why would I want to buy her a bottle of body scrub? It was
Yeah.
handmade, homemade by me.
You know, so strange, you know, that day when you sent this sort, I really thought it's a food, you know, to be sprinkled on ice or on rice or something.
I
you know?
labeled it
Yeah.
rose
Yeah.
body
So-
scrub.
Exactly. So until I really look at it, I said, oh no, you know, I nearly kept it in the kitchen, you know, to be used.
Technically, you can actually eat it because every ingredient that I use inside are all from the kitchen.
Sounds great, you know.
All edible, you won't die. I don't know if it's going to taste any good, but yes, you can technically eat it.
Right.
Just don't
right.
put it over rice.
Right.
That'll be weird.
Okay.
Right.
You
What shall
you have been very inspiring, I guess, to all your fans, you know. So
I know I
very-
literally
yeah.
sold every lemon tree in Singapore.
Really? Okay, you're driving up the prices of all the lemon trees.
I did actually. Many people have been complaining to me because like it used to be a certain price and now it's like a good, like quite a lot more now.
So-
and, yeah, that's crazy.
One more insider question. So, did Terence complain about you spending
Complain?
too much time with the flowers, with all the plants, and neglecting him?
No, he wouldn't dare. He's been spending a lot of time with his bicycle.
I
He's
see.
like recently.
Has he gotten one?
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
didn't know
it's
that.
like crazy. He's
Really?
been talking non-stop about bikes. He's been disappearing in the afternoons, going to the bike shop to spec up his bikes.
With your son?
Yeah, the both of them are just in their bike phase lately.
But I think
And they really leave me alone. They really leave me alone. My son called me names. So
Right,
yeah,
like?
2 days ago when I was at the vegetable farm, or was it the flower farm? He texted me and called me garden phase,
really.
flower phase.
I
He was so upset with me because he needed something and the driver was not available
Okay.
because it was with me.
But I do see Terence and your son taking the bikes on the road. You know, I think because they belong to those, you know, the nowadays the trend, the younger trend.
Yeah.
They are always cycling on the roads. You know?
I think it's during this time, you know, like during this year, and of course with the
You just want to
COVID
get
and
out of the house.
everything, many people are just getting into many different ways of because we can't travel. So they're just really getting into different hobbies, be it biking, even exercising. Suddenly, many people got healthier.
You know, yeah. Let's talk
Good
about what we
goodness.
are all going through, which is the COVID-19.
Yes,
you
and
know.
it is really
Yeah.
hard for everyone, and I think a lot of people feel that they are stuck like a space they just don't know how to get out of.
I think many of us are doing what others are doing during circuit breaker. Like you pick up the sports or you pick up cooking, you know. So
Yeah, suddenly I can
yeah,
cook also.
you know, yes, I saw that. Okay.
No choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I find myself jogging a lot every day, you know, just to get out of the house. Of course, initially, like
Yeah.
what others are doing, you know, I look at videos and try to bake a bread without an oven.
Yeast, you had no yeast. Oh yeah, you had no oven, yes.
Yeah,
Without an oven.
and no weighing scale. Very difficult to get hold of yeast at that point of time.
I know.
Yes, yes.
I had to beg
Yeah.
for yeast one day,
Yeah.
and someone was kind enough to give me some.
And you know, because I don't have all the facilities, you know how I prove my bread. You need to prove it, you know. So
She
with the
sun
yeast,
it.
yeah,
Sun
I
it,
put it
sun
under
it.
the sun.
Oh my god, very innovative, so clever.
Because you need heat to prove the bread. So I literally brought the whole batter out to the garden, you know, under the sun. But
At least she didn't use a hairdryer to
obviously
try to heat it up.
the bread failed, you know.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think
because
you know what.
without the right measurements.
but at least you know you did something, and that was therapeutic for you.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I think it's very important. So
Yeah.
during this time, sometimes I write down my thoughts. I started a flower journal,
Oh,
whereby I press the flowers in my garden.
really?
I press them in a book.
Oh, you
so
mean
they're
to-
dry.
you dry flowers?
Yes, yeah. So I press them, and then I have this like very aged paper journal, which I will paste the flowers from my garden, and then I'll write the date where I press them. Oh my god, I sound like such a loser, but I'm telling you, it is something that I've always wanted to do, but never had time for. So then I write little poems about the flowers.
You write poems?
Like little poems, little quotes that I may feel. Of course, I don't like go and show people my little
Right.
journal with my flowers inside.
Can we
So-
take a peek inside?
Yeah, of course, I will show it to you when you
Okay.
come over. When you write, it is like a release. It's good for your well-being. So yeah, on days where I feel that, you know, I may not be so happy on that day, or something just made me unhappy, I will write in that little flower journal with my fresh flowers. I think.
So,
yeah.
one more question that will let your viewers know a little bit about you. Would you consider yourself as a temperamental person, or are you cool with everything?
I'm not cool with
Oh,
anything.
okay.
So I am a very temperamental person because I'm a creative person. And being a creative person, I have my moods, and I need to feel very inspired, which is why, you know, I feel a lot about a lot of things, which I need to have little outlets like my little journal, my little garden, my flower pressing, and anything that I feel that is creative. I draw, I create pictures, and all these, we need inspiration for it, and yeah, it doesn't come like tap water every day.
So that makes sense. When you are a creator or when you are creative,
Yeah.
you tend to have interests in a lot of things, and that resonates with your hobbies. You know, at a certain stage in life, you know, it switches from
Yes.
perhaps kebana to now,
Yes.
you know, planting and gardening, and then to concocting your own tea recipes and
Yeah.
bath salts and things like that.
Anything that looks beautiful.
Hire yourself,
Yeah,
so to speak.
to ignite something
Yeah,
in you, to
yeah.
trigger something, and then you'll be like, Eureka, this is it.
So because of all this, it makes you a temperamental person. I think it relates, yeah. Because you know you're switching from one to another.
I think having a consistent mood does not come with a creative person ever. Sometimes we are moody, and yeah, we just need to have space alone
Yes.
with nature, and that always does the trick.
And that's why I've known Jamie for I don't know how many years, more than a decade now. And therefore I do find her genuine in whatever she carries out herself, because she hides nothing, you know, and that resonates with her creativity and her moods. She's just been herself. With that, it really gave me some insights. At this lunch, not only am I going to share about food, we talk about food,
Yeah.
I also learn a lot from this conversation. So not only will the viewers take with them something, I also
Yeah.
take away something from this lunch. you know.
Okay,
Thank
so
you
can I take away
much.
some of this food?
No,
No.
we can eat it, not to take away the food, because you would just dump it in the garbage bin.
No,
you know.
that's not true.
Okay.
Just kidding. But
Okay,
anyway,
just thank
thanks
you.
for having me.
Yes, to thank you for the show, Jamie, I have a little gift for you.
Wow, okay. Love little gifts.
It's just an appreciation. It's a chocolate mooncake.
Oh,
Your favorite
thank
brand.
You. My favorite brand by
Yes, you
Vanky.
know,
Yes, I love Vanky
Yes.
chocolates. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Bye.